All right, we are back. And sorry about that. Mr. Guy on location hit the end broadcast button, not leave studio button. So we had a pause in the calls, and we are back in full effect. So I'll jibber jabber along to get people who are watching in and tuning in on YouTube and Facebook to catch back up. Give Dan a little time to scoot his little self back on into the house and get all logged in. If you are paying attention, the Pacers are down 3 to the Detroit Pistons with a little under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, which is a good segue to talk about one of our other shows that happens on Sunday afternoons in between the two sets of football games, right? Sets of football games right now with NFL first set of game and NFL second set of games is the state of basketball with myself and the big man in the middle, Big Storm, Anthony Mormon. So we do all of our basketball chatter somewhere as how we do here with the football, but it's on the round ball side. So you check us out during basketball season. We'll have a set time, but right now through football season, because I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and their schedule will fluctuate, we generally come on in between the two sets of games. So let's see, where did we leave off? We left off at my bookie NCAA man cave chatter with the 50% deposit match up to 1,000 and a free $10 bet on your next thing with mybookie.ag. So as people are tuning back in, looks like Lakers and Bucks are getting ready to start. I'm going to be watching that one as well. Another score update: Wizards above Hornets with 2 left in the first, 24-20. So we are here again with NCAA chatter. Dan was on location traveling back home from picking up little Jazz Z Faye, getting her hoop on at her basketball practice. And we went over a little bit with the college football top 7 in the playoff. If you didn't know what the top 7 were, number 1, Georgia, 10-0, Alabama, 9-1, Oregon, 9-1, Ohio State, 9-1, Cincinnati, 10-0, Michigan, 9-1, Michigan State, 9-1, and Notre Dame, 9-1. I'm going to go with updating. It's amazing. That thing is absolutely never fails. Never fails. It is a 100% guarantee that that is going to happen to my man every single time. So we should see him here again in a second. It'll probably take about 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, and he'll get in where we fit in. So we are doing our NCAA chit chatter. This is the desktop. Yes. You gotta love it. But chatter. So we talked about that. Let's see here. What else we talked about? We talked about the Big Ten East finish race between Michigan State, Ohio State, and Michigan. What a fabulous good inning that's going to be. Let's see. I think that means that anything else to jump off? Oh, the Oklahoma. The Oklahoma loss was pretty bad. So that pretty much knocked every one of their quarterbacks out of the Heisman race. I did call that Baylor game. I just felt that Baylor was a little more hungry. Oklahoma had a little arrogance about themselves being so dominant over the Pac or the Big 12 in recent years. And the debacle of what Texas is, there really is really no challenge. So the loss for Oklahoma was devastating for them and their program. I wouldn't be surprised if Lincoln Riley's name doesn't start to surface a little bit more with this LSU job. I don't see him going out west to the USC, but I think that LSU job becomes a little bit attractive. It's a big market. The fans are rabid down there, and they will filter money all the way through that program. So keep an eye out on that change there. So anything else with college football? Let's see. I can't think of any major news right now. So we're gonna jump right into these games. We'll catch Dan up as he stays along with us. So our first game, um, that's the Final Four. We already went through that. So let me get off there. I'm backtracking. Here we go. Doc Sports NCAA picks of the week brought to you by Doc Sports. Text BW Sports 1 to 29022 for your free $60 in picks. All right. So, first game we have this week in college is number 3 Oregon at number 23 Utah. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Utah coming up late. I know Dan, I think, mentioned Utah earlier in the season when I was a little bit more on Chip Kelly and UCLA. And you see how that debacle turned out. Started out pretty well at the beginning. I felt really good. Herb Street was with me. Desmond Howard was jumping on board with me later on. But then, down goes UCLA. So even with the ex Michigan running back. So, but it just happens. So Oregon has had a dominance on the Pac-12. Obviously, Dan and I talked about that a little bit ago. I don't see that changing. I think Utah is going to put up a very good fight. They have a very strong passing attack with a good speed up offense. I think on a challenge Oregon's defense maybe a little bit. I'm gonna call this game a little closer than most people would probably say. One, because it's on the road and Utah is a good home team. So I'm going to go with Oregon, or is it Oregon? We're going to go with Oregon 37-34. All righty. And we'll backtrack with Dan Hops on. We'll backtrack and get his on those. Let's see here. Next game up, which is our game of the week. And we obviously spoke about this one just a few minutes ago when we were talking about that Big Ten East race. This race right here, I mean, this game right here is a complete effective of that game. You got number 7, Michigan State, traveling to the Horseshoe to take on the number 4 Buckeyes. Me personally, I don't care for either one of these particular teams, but I need one of these teams to beat the other team because we chose to lose to one of these teams, which took our control of our fate out of our hands. So to put our control back in our hands, we need the number 4 Buckeyes to take on this Michigan State team and win. So this dynamic in this game is going to be very interesting. It's going to come down to who can establish their will. All right, Ohio State has the most electrifying offense that is in college football right now. They're scoring at a ridiculous clip. They have probably the most complete offensive. I mean, they might have the most complete receiving core that you have, led by Chris Olave, who is obviously going to be a first-round pick. The man can run every single route in the route tree, and he is a catch maker and a home run threat every time. The difference with this now offense with Ohio State is the quarterback Strom has definitely settled into his role and his comfortability, what he can do with this offense, much different than it was in the season, in the beginning of the season, where he was questioned. But they stayed the course. As you can see, he's probably throwing 5 touchdowns a game, and he's very accurate. I don't see a whole lot that Michigan State on defense, even though they're a good defense, can do with that. But the way I see Michigan State being able to control and win this game is with the running attack with Walker Jr. I'm really not sure how he got out of Wake Forest, but way to go, Michigan State, for getting him out of the transfer portal. I think if you can rely on him and control the time of possession, I mean, if you can get 7, 8, 9 minute possessions at a time and try to keep that offense stagnant, where you forced them have to make big plays right away, maybe they got a chance. But I don't know. So I'm going to go with OSU 40-24. Yeah, for the way I talked about it, it looks like that's a blowout, but that's what they've been doing with that electrifying offense. I'm not really sure how Michigan State is going to be able to slow them down. The run game is it, but I'm not really sure because Ohio State is getting better on the defensive side of the ball as well. So I'm going with the Buckeyes 40-24. I think my son's home for football practice. I hear him. Yeah, not football, basketball practice. He switched like I switch every now and then. All right, pardon me. Woo. Let's see here. Our NCAA upset game. I am going to go with SMU at number 5, Cincinnati. The reason why I'm going with this game because Cincinnati has been struggling the last few weeks with some of their conference opponents. Now I know their strength of schedule is very favorable for them to win these games. Um, I didn't really see a lot of these games being close, but the last few weeks we've seen a few weaknesses in the offense and the defense. Teams have been able to score points and move the ball on them quite effectively and kind of slow down them a little bit. So SMU has over the last few years have put together some decent teams to be quite effective. I think they are sitting at number 2 or number 3 in Conference USA, which conference they're in. Excuse me. So it's the Samuel Adams Oktoberfest. We had the 28 boxes. You know, you can only get this in the month of October. We still have a few left, so I wanted to make sure that I share that gift with the world. But anyway, so I actually like SMU to go into Cincinnati and to pull off a late field goal for the win to even take them out of the conversation of the playoff altogether. So that takes us down to our money game. And oh, somebody didn't like that. Bro, what? You didn't like Cincinnati? This thing. Oh. Sorry, bro. I love you. All right, so back to the money game. Let's see. Uh-oh, he's back. What did he say? Now I can't get in on my phone either. Oh, Lord have mercy. Praise Black Jesus. And we'll keep rolling on. We'll get him for the NFL because I know he really wants to talk NFL. So we'll get him for the NFL. Because at least he still has a minute commercial break when we get to that one as well, just to add to the fuckery of the last 7 days. Oh, hey man, I remember those days. I remember those days. What you need to do when you have moments like this, I got you. I got you, bro. When you have moments like this is when you get to our mental guru, Monica P, with Quantum Inspirations. You can catch her on Tuesdays, most normal Tuesdays in the noon, the lunch hour, to kind of calm you down a little bit when things get a little haywire and anxiety, your pressure starts going crazy. Check her out, man. You can catch all our old shows as well on the YouTube, our BW Sports One YouTube page. So all of our shows are on there. So check her out if you're feeling stressed. So Dan, if you need to go check out Monica and get some deep breathing exercises, and then woosah, it'll all come around for you. God, that was an awesome shameless plug. But anyway, so we go with my money game. 21 Arkansas or Kansas. At number 2, Alabama. The line is Alabama -20.5. Over under is 56.5. I'm going with Arkansas Razorbacks 20 and a half, and the under. Not to say that I am picking Arkansas to win, but I kind of feel that Arkansas scores enough points, and this not being one of the most dominant Alabama defenses we've seen over the last couple of years, I feel that Arkansas can stay within 20 and a half. So that's who I am going with. I meant meditate. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Let's show the world. Yes. And then we'll show the world. And then we'll unshow the world. Oops, I almost hit that end button. Come on, that's funny. That's funny. Yes, I know it's a terrible line. Oh, get off. Get off. There you go. Too many buttons, man. All right, so yeah, there you have it. That's it. That's it for college. So I am going to take a pause for the cause. Note to self: don't hit the red button. This is going to have to be a meme somehow. Note to self: don't hit the red button. All right, so let us do this. Yes, I'm going to take a pause for the cause and give you some elite performance info. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is your man's the one, and this is Dukes of Football. How do you like my deep radio voice? Is this the kind of voice that you would like to hear sell your product? Won't you hit us up at info.bwsports1 and see if we can do any kind of voiceover sell work for you today? Yeah, that was pretty bad. Moving on. So that takes us to the NFL. Inside the NFL Cooler, brought to you by Circle City Cryogenics. Refreeze just about anything, but we don't freeze bodies. All right. No frozen bodies. So that takes us into our NFL talk. So, what do we have going on this week in the NFL? A little quick tick chatter because I know we want to get to these games. I know I got some NBA games and some college games on the docket that I'm trying to take care of. And also, I made bacon before the show, and I like bacon, and I want to eat bacon. So, and I thought that it means absolutely nothing to you people. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk about my fetish for bacon. But the end result is bacon makes everything better. Well, almost everything. No bacon soda. That's not really good. And not a real big fan of bacon potato chips. But other than that, bacon makes everything better. Name one thing that you put bacon on that is not instantly better. I'll wait, but not long. So we talked about that. We talked about that. I'll wait to talk about power rankings with Dan. He might want to talk about that if he can get in. Let's see. Gruden sues the NFL and Roger Goodell. Not sure why. You can't blame them for ruining your career. The only grounds that you might have to stand on is that you can't be the only person in those emails that you can't be the only person in those emails to have said something incorrectly and out of time, well, I don't want to say out of context or out of character, something incorrectly, something that your racist ass or bigotry ass should not have said or are smart enough to put down on writing. You know what I mean? Just I think one hood game rule I remember back from the day is do your dirt by your lonesome. So if you do your dirt by yourself, then there's nobody that knows your dirt that can tell on your dirt. Period. So basically, keep your shit to yourself. So he decided to say his stuff. But anyway, that's not the point. So I feel that that's just him trying to find a way to stay relevant. He feels hurt and he wants to get back at the NFL. But the only way this becomes any type of story, any type of issue, is unless he's got some emails, he's got some documentations of this cartel that is the NFL that seems to control all things. We will see what John Gruden has that might even think of him suing the NFL. So we move on from there. Let's see. Next up, we got, let's say, Rex Ryan. We got Rex Ryan had a good question earlier this week. Who Rex Ryan is becoming to be one of my favorite analysts. I really like him right now. The leading candidate is your Indianapolis Colts own Jeff Saturday. I tweeted that. He responded to my tweet. Made me feel kind of important. I don't know why, but it just did. But Rex Ryan brought up a good point. With the job that is going on right now in New England with the ascension of young Matt Jones, is this Bill Belichick's best coaching job to date? So looking at it, you got a rookie quarterback. You made a decision to go over a rookie quarterback over an aging. Will probably be more of the safe bet quarterback in the Cam Newton. By the way, shout out to Cam back in Carolina. What was that? Old faces in old places. Two touches of the ball, 2 touchdowns. Cam feels comfortable. Cam loves Carolina. It's a new whole regime in Carolina, so maybe there'll be a good way to end his career with them. We're giving him a chance to lean forward. So good shout out to Cam and the Panthers. They might make a push for the playoffs. So we'll see. Him and McCaffrey did pair up pretty well to put up a lot of good yards. So we'll see with that. But anyway, is this one of his best jobs? You got one Mac Jones. They're sitting at 6-4. I think they're where's my stuff at? 6-4. So yeah, they're right there with the Bills at the AFC East. So you got to look at it. If the thing ended right now, they'd be a 5th seed. So you gotta check it out. So you got to look at it as Bill Belichick, the evil emperor, has, even without his pad one, his protege Tom Brady, even though he has gone on to do great things and win a championship, Bill Belichick is not hurting. It looks like he's going to be all right. It looks like he's got a shot at trying to get him another chance at the ring before he retires. The way he has that New England Patriots team looking pretty good. So, and then that transitions us into what does the New Orleans Saints and the Washington football team have that Tom Brady has issues with figuring out. They had an issue with the Washington football team last year. It sucks that Chase Young was confirmed earlier in the week. It sucks Chase Young, a very good young player, is going to be out for the rest of the season. It looks like he tore his ACL in the game from Sunday, so that's not looking good. But what do those two football teams seem to have some sliver of kryptonite that can touch the great one, Tom Brady? So there's something to be looking into. But a lot of injuries in the Washington football team right now, but it seems to be an issue. So, and that takes us to another quarterback and a football team who was struggling. Unlike the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are struggling now, the Chiefs looks like they seem to be coming out of their struggles. Their offense seems to be clicking a little bit more. Mahomes seems to be getting a little bit more patient into not making the mistakes that he was making earlier in the season, where we were questioning if we kind of crowned him a $500 million man just a little bit too early. But as you can see, he's starting to find his little groove back. The defense is still not a very good, solid defense, but defenses tend to play a little better when you are playing with the lead, because then you can focus on one thing. So as long as the offense seems to find their niche and keep scoring points, the defense doesn't look as bad as they are, and Tyrann Matthews is allowed to ball hawk the way that he does. So, yeah, so I wouldn't write him out, but I'm not really banking on him either. There's a lot of strong teams in the AFC. We talked about Cam already. That is Mahomes. And this is the only thing that I'm going to say about this damn tie. Why do we even have ties in the NFL? This is ridiculous. I mean, yeah, we don't want to play a game for all blah 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 forever long, whatever. We don't want the ridiculousness of the third overtime. You go for 2 points, 2 point conversions every time, like in the NCAA. But they have a winner to the game. You need to have a winner to the game. No one wants these freaking ties. That is ridiculous. And then to compound it, neither one of those teams wanted to win or lose the game. So I guess it was the fitting ending for some hot trash. And now I got to possibly deal with this hot trash again for another game. Lord have mercy. We want Aaron Rodgers. Not to say that I don't like Ben Roethlisberger. He is my favorite quarterback. Well, he is my favorite Pittsburgh Steeler ever. But he is going to leave. It is time for him to go. Aaron Rodgers wants out. This is a perfect fit for him. Bring us somebody because Mason Rudolph is not the answer. So I'm done with that foolishness. Let's see. We have returns this week. Let's see. We had Aaron Rodgers come back from his COVID debacle, and he ended up with the victory. But the game was not pretty by any means. But good teams seem to find ways to win ugly games. So that was back. Let's see. We had, like I said, we had old faces in old places with Cam, and then we had old faces in new places with Odell Beckham Jr. with the Rams and Von Miller with the Rams. Odell, I mean, there was a couple targets. See, you can expect him to pick up an offense that fast. They didn't really play him to pick up an offense that fast. Von Miller, it looks like he was exploited a little bit because of the lack of time with the team. But I think here in the next couple of weeks, they should pick up their production. But I don't even think those two factored really much in that ass whipping that Shanahan and the 49ers delivered McVay and the Rams. Whoo! Holy lordy moly. That was a backyard spanking for the Battle of the Bay. So, woo, not really seeing the 49ers continue that type of play. But when you playing that crosstown rival that big brother type status do, you bring it to the party. So shout out to them. Bad loss for them. Bad loss for the Browns. The Browns got dog whipped. So that week that y'all was all celebrating the departure of Odell Beckham, look how great our offense moves without Odell. La, 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 la. Bill Belichick, the emperor, and used the Death Star and blew up Tatooine with you on it. I'll take it. Let's see. So power rankings real quick. Let's give you the power rankings before we jump into our picks of the week. Let's see NFL power rankings this week. Number one, you got the Packers at 8-2, Titans 8-2. Wow, Adrian Peterson. That's all we got to say. Titans 82, Cardinals 8-2. Interesting to see if Kyler Murray does play this week. We're still in limbo as well as I am with Roethlisberger. Let's see, the Cowboys come in at 4 with 72, Rams at 73, Bills 6-3. Who is underachieving more right now? The Bills? Can you say that? Can you say they're not doing it right? Looking kind of started off strong, looking kind of weak right now. Let's see, Bills is 6-3, Bucks is 6-3, Chiefs 6-4, Ravens 6-4, Ravens 6-3, Patriots 6-4. Remember, buys factor into some of these tallies, so if the numbers don't add up, you know why. Let's see. With that, oh yeah, and here is the last thing. Sorry, this is the last thing. Top 5 MVP persons right now for the Um, what is that? The NFL. Wow, that is terrible. I don't even know why they call it the MVP because it is a quarterback race. Even though there's some running backs right now who should be in that category. One being a hometown boy and Taylor. So, but all right, you got Tom Brady, 28 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 65 and a half QBR. Lamar Jackson, 639 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 54 and a half QBR. So you got Dak at 3 with 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 58% QBR. Kyler Murray comes in at 4, 20 touchdowns, 7 INTs, 62 and a half QBR. And finally, bringing up the rear, you got Josh Allen at 22 touchdowns, 6 INTs, and 60 and a half QBR. All right, that takes us to our Doc Sports NFL picks of the week, brought to you by Doc Sports. Text BW Sports 1 to 29022 for your free $60 in picks. First game, we have the Cowboys 72 at the Chiefs 6-4. This is going to be a pretty exciting game offensively. This game is going to be a real big test for the Cowboys defense. Now, we've been talking about the Cowboys defense looking really good, doing the things that they want to do, high on turnovers, very high on sacks. Right now, because their offense has been playing at such a clip with the touchdowns and the scoring of the points and the balanced running and passing attack with the outside threat of CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, with the two-headed monster at the running back with Ezekiel Elliott. So their offense is very, very potent. So, so their defense has been able to ball hog. The games that they've lost, their offense hasn't been able to do that. They've been able to having to play from behind, and their defense is not set for that. So the Chiefs' offense has been clicking as of late. Patrick Mahomes is throwing that thing around and starting to find his groove again. So let's see, what do we got? Hey, Big Ben, what up, bro? Dallas got a shot. Let's be real. Hey, bro, I am trying to talk positive. I'm not going to get in my hatred of Dallas. I don't say hatred because I like the city of Dallas. Spent a lot of time closer to the city of Dallas when I went to college. The city of Dallas is okay. I just don't like the arrogance of Cowboy fans. Like, y'all are just destined to be America's team, whatever. You guys haven't won a Super Bowl since last century. You haven't won a playoff game since last century. You know what I mean? I've been and we've won and lost. The Patriots have won all 6 of their Super Bowls since the last time you've won the Super Bowl. So I'm tired of these entitled Dallas fans like they're supposed to just. But anyway, 98. Yes, last century. Last century. I hate Dallas. Yes, I agree. I get it. So anyway, so that takes me to the end result is I am taking the Chiefs 30-27, or 30-23, because I feel that Mahomes is catching his groove and he can test those defenses to put them. They can. What I mean is they can score with Dallas's offense to force Dallas's defense to actually play defense. So we'll see how that goes, and that's the look that I like. I like the Chiefs 30-23. So that takes us to our game of the week, which is we're going to stay with our hometown Colts. We got the Colts who just got themselves to a 500 mark. They're actually playing really good football. And the reasons why they're playing good football, because they listened to me. They started to run the ball behind that offensive line that is becoming to be healthy. Carson Wentz is not the answer. Carson Wentz is a Band-Aid or a stepping stone to an ends to a means. He's a transitional piece until you can find you the quarterback of the future, because he cannot go out and win you a game, but he can definitely go out and lose you a game. So you lean on this running game of Jonathan Taylor, who right now with Sir Henry, King Henry out for the rest of the season, Jonathan Taylor right now is the league leader in rusher, and you need to lean on him. The more touches he's got, the more yards he's got, the more chances and opportunities that the Colts have been able to control games and allow their fast and quick opportunist defense to take over games at times and force offenses into things they don't want to do. And it allows Carson not to have to make plays. You see what happens when the guy has to make plays. He wants to throw the damn ball with his left hand. So it's only 18%. I'm sorry, bro. This is funny. He can't win you a game, but he can definitely lose you a game. Jonathan Taylor can win you a game, and it can keep you in the game and allow Carson Wentz to maintain a game. So, hold on. What did he say? Carson Wentz is allegedly going to be the best to do it. Okay. I know you're being sarcastic, and I pray to Black Jesus that you are being sarcastic because that will get you banned from the show forever. I'm just messing with you, my brother. All right, so the Bills haven't looked so great. Very one-dimensional. They refuse to run the ball, even though they have a very talented running back. Oh, God. Yes, Big Man, that is a Philly fan there for you, so I think he will beg to differ. So, let's see where we go. Let's see. Yes, the Bills refuse to rely on their running game, putting Josh Allen in terrible situations, and the defense is not holding up to their end of the bargain. So, you know what? I like the Colts in this game, 27-17, to continue their winning streak on the backbone of Jonathan Taylor and this defense. So I like the Colts here. So now all you Colts fans, you can get off my back. I'm going to YouTube. Well, take your butt to YouTube then, buddy. Let's see. What do we have here? What does the Lion know? I asked that question more than once. I've asked that question more than once, and I just said, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. Like I picked the Lakers to beat the Bucks tonight. Why? I don't know. You just gotta have faith, and you just gotta have faith. I got faith that the Colts are going to win this game, 27-17 on the road. That's what I like. Let's see. Where do we go from here? We go here to our NFL upset game. I am going to go up to the Windy City. We're going to go up to the Windy City. Is it Soldier Field? Yes, Soldier Field. Wrigley Field is the baseball diamond. So we're going to go up to Soldier Field. We got the Ravens 6-3. Traveling. Let's see. The Bears are 3-6. Bears have looked pretty good lately because Matt Nagy has not been putting together the game plan. We obviously know he's not putting together the game plan because we saw the first part of the season of him putting together the game plan, and we see what happens. Now that we know that he's not putting together the game plan, and we see the talents that Justin Field has, obviously I watched the game between the Chicago and the Bears, Chicago and the Bears. The Bears in Pittsburgh and how he single-handedly brought them back and almost won that game. If it wasn't some from questionable favorable calls on my side of the ball, they would have lost that game. So I'm liking the Bears in this matchup with the struggles that we are seeing. It's starting to add up with the lack of pieces and the injuries that's going on in Baltimore. So I like the Bears in this matchup, 27-21. Go Bears. Who dat them Bears? Or something like that. Our money game. Let's see. The money game. We're going to go. Let's go down to Tampa. Let's go warm. We got the Giants 3-6. And we have the Buccaneers at 6-3. The line on this game is Tampa Bay at negative 11.5. Over under is 50. Tampa Bay 11.5. And I'm going to take Tampa Bay 11.5. And the under. I'm going to take the line and under. I'm sure these numbers are going to change because this is Wednesday, so all of these bet line numbers are subject to change on the exact numbers, but I probably will still take the bet. The reason why I'm taking this one is because the Bucs have looked pretty sluggish, but you should have one or both Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski back, which gives him his comfortability a little bit. And I think they're being at home and being able to sleep in their own beds and maybe this defense will actually show up for once and not still be riding the wave of the Super Bowl, because that's what's happening. They have that Super Bowl low. There should be no way that this team is playing as bad uh, as they look. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do like them to cover. One is the Giants. You know, wow, they suck. We will win the Super Bowl again someday. Yes, yes, and so did the Cubs think that, and it took them 100 years. I'm just saying. No, I don't have a problem with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I mean, they got to win a lot. I mean, I'm still tied for six. So, as long as I'm still close to the top, we should be all right. So, there you have it for the NFL Doc Sports Picks of the week for this week. And that is actually our show for this week. It was great to have the Lion slide in on this for a little bit of time. I know he has some technical difficulties. I know he was itching to get in here and talk a little smack about some football things, but it looks like he's going to have to wait for another time to do that. So that brings us to the end. If you want to catch any of our old shows from any of our shows, from Checkers and Records to the state of basketball to the Dukes of football, kicking it with Super Kicking with Steven, it should be a pretty good show with him on this coming weekend, since he was and his phone died. Nice. With Super Kicking with Steven, this should be a good show because he was um, at the pay-per-view, not the pay-per-view. He was at the event that we had this week. I think it was Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to tune in to see what he's got special. So you can catch all his old shows. You can catch all our old shows. You can catch all Monica's old shows. Just check it out at the YouTube, BW Sports One, hashtag, or however you get to the things or whatever those tag things are. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram. And we have some cooking feeds now you can get to us through as well. It's going to be a lot of stuff popping off on the sports side and the kitchen side for both myself and BW Sports One this upcoming year. So stay tuned to a lot of good things. Check us out on the revamped website done by our good friend, that guy, Be Lit Organics, baby. Yes, Be Lit Organics. All of our good friends, Be Lit Organics, for all of your beauty and recovery needs. Our good friends, the Fighter Friends, the Fighter's Friend. Check all those guys out. You can get to all those links on the bwsports1.com webpage. And if you obviously need any assistance of ours, info.bwsports1.com. For the rest of the BW Sports One family, I'm the one, and I am hitting the scene. I am out this bitch. Time to go watch some basketball so I can report on the state of basketball. Get on up out of here, folks. I love it, and I love you.